Hello and welcome to the Gaming Pigeon Special Delivery. My name is Stefan and welcome back. This is episode 2 of the Gaming Pigeon Special Delivery and we are trying to make this a much shorter show than last time. We're going to go right into the news, so let's get it started. First up, Xbox co-creator Ed Freeze wants to partner with Sony in some capacity to enable Xbox One and PS4 crossplay. While Freeze himself has left Xbox, he praises Phil Spencer for opening up Xbox Live to cross-platform play, and called on Sony to possibly respond with some form of proposal to continue this expansion of the online gaming universe. Commenting that he is a big fan of Shuhei Yoshida at Sony, he hopes that Sony responds soon and he's very optimistic for the future of both companies. I personally hope that Sony and Microsoft do come to the table on this, because the concept of opening up crossplay to all the people who own consoles will just be better for business. Everybody gets to play. Everybody gets to play all the games that are available with everyone. You have everybody who is excited about the new Call of Duty, the one that's apparently in space. You have the new Madden game, you have the new FIFA game, and all these games could possibly be even bigger, even more spectacular when you allow people to play across the gaming party lines. And it's strange to look at this politically, but it essentially is. People have become fans of Xbox or Microsoft or Sony and PlayStation, and they don't exactly mesh over a lot of these things. And to kind of remove a barrier for people to play games with one another, a barrier that a lot of people won't even notice is there anymore. After a while, they'll be able to play against an Xbox player or a PS4 player, and they won't know. Essentially, at least I hope they make it so that you can just play against a player. You don't have to see that, hey, he's playing on Xbox, better kick his butt. You just play just to have fun, the way games were always meant to be. So yeah, that's that story. And up next, we have even more news about crossplay. From now on, all Microsoft Xbox games will be PC games as well. Xbox Play Anywhere is going for all the marbles. Microsoft is committed to creating a cross-platform between PC and Xbox One through their Play Anywhere scheme. With the Xbox Play Anywhere program, you can buy games once, play it on PC or Xbox, and share the progress, the game saves, and the achievements between the two platforms. Every new title from Microsoft Studios will support the Xbox Play Anywhere feature, and will also be available on the Windows Store. This means Forza, Gears of War, Halo, and Sea of Thieves are all going to be coming to the PC as a cross-platform buy. Third-party publishers are getting in on the action as well, with Crackdown 3, Recore, Scalebound, and We Happy Few being Xbox Play Anywhere titles as well. So there are quite a few games coming out for this Xbox Play Anywhere platform, and there are so many more opportunities for Xbox and PC to become essentially the perfect console. I'm personally really excited about this. This is a very interesting proposition that Xbox and PC essentially are both laying out for us as gamers. We are going to have all these opportunities to play games whenever and wherever we want. We have the PC, which could be any form of laptop, and the Xbox One, which is most likely going to stay at home. You get to put those sort of games just about anywhere you want and not really have to worry too much about whether or not you're going to lose progress from one game to another or have to replay a whole section from a game. Like, for instance, playing a game with a very difficult boss, let's say Dark Souls 3. Yeah, imagine playing Dark Souls 3 on the PC, wherever you want, and saying, holy jeez, I just beat, I don't know, any number of those bosses that are basically impossible to do if you haven't tried a billion times already. And you come back to your Xbox One with your controller in hand, seeing that, hey, I already beat this. After that long day of work, you have somehow come back to see something even better than when you left. You come back and see, I beat Pontiff Sullivan in Dark Souls 3. I don't exactly remember it. It's all a blur. I went to work in a rage thinking, oh god, I'm gonna have to fight this guy again. Not remembering that at some point during that train ride or bus ride or whatever, you somehow pulled it off. You figured it out. You beat Pontiff Sullivan. Congratulations. You don't have to play that again until you go to New Game Plus. So yeah, that's gonna be a good feeling for a lot of people. And again, it's even better for the publishers. They have more places to put their game. They have more people that will be exposed to their game. And overall, that's a positive for everyone. For you, for me, for the game publishers, for the developers. Everybody gets a piece of that new pizza pie. And yeah, that's a delicious pie you got there. Alright, so with all the news of the week done, we have a personal segment where I discuss something I'm personally interested in. And this week, it is Deep Silver and Volition with their new game, Agents of Mayhem. The hero shooter that isn't a hero shooter. The third-person action game that kind of follows the same sort of logic and character development that we have appreciated from the Saints Row games, that will take place in a Seoul, Korea of the future. It's so futuristic, in fact, we have robots, we have flying cars, we have all sorts of crazy, awesome technology. But my question is, when in the future? Because in the Saints Row universe, where this game takes place, we are kind of let known that in Saints Row 4, we witnessed the destruction of the planet Earth. And at the end of Saints Row 4, we are also introduced to the concept of a time machine. So, what exactly is the cause of this planet being okay and not destroyed by aliens? I'd love to know. There aren't many answers in regards to that, but the only thing I could possibly speculate is that the Saints go back in time, save the world from Zinyak, and I don't know, the world just kind of moves on its own pace from then on. We have a whole lot of references to the old Saints Row games. Two in particular are interesting. The original Saints Row emblem is kind of flipped upside down in some parts, and it's kind of, you can see where the fleur de lis is in the emblem for the Agents of Mayhem. So that's interesting. They kind of keep that symbol there, even with the fact that it's not the same team or the same, not even the same game, essentially. We also, like I said, I think I mentioned Ultor, the super conglomerate that has their hands in everything around the world. They are the bosses of the Agents of Mayhem. They created the Agents of Mayhem. And how they actually did this and why they actually did this, still a mystery to us. But they're back, and a lot of that is probably due to the fact that the Earth is still around, and a bunch of different people are still around. That means that a bunch of characters from the original Saints Row the third game, where we were introduced to a whole litany of characters, they could be coming back, and a lot of that could be due to the characters being not deadified by the planet exploding or other alien experiments that caused their demise. So yeah, that's the interesting thing that I found this week. I only really found the stuff this week, a couple weeks after E3. So yeah, that's shame on me for not really paying attention. But still, there are a lot of mysteries behind this, even after a couple of weeks. And yeah, I'd really love to know what the storyline looks like in terms of what happened beforehand. How are we on Earth, where we know what happened to it? I mean, there's always the possibility that it is some sort of alternate universe, or it is still somehow in the past, but it's just that Seoul, Korea is the superpower of technology in the Saints Row universe, and we just didn't know. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole list of ways that they could go about this, but I really like the concept of the Saints using the time machine from Saints Row 4, going back in time, saving the world, and they just kind of just go back to what they were doing. The President of the United States, or the leader of the Saints, kind of just goes back to being the president, and we have a world that's not destroyed, and we have a bunch of characters like Oleg and all the a bunch of the old characters that we kind of miss from Saints Row 4. They just show up and do their thing as they normally would. Yeah. Now that time travel thing could be an interesting angle, but again, I have no idea where they're gonna go with this, so I'm just gonna leave the speculation where it is, and hopefully with the various gaming conventions coming up, we'll find out more and more, and we can dig deeper and deeper into what this game actually looks like from a timeline perspective. I mean, the game itself, without thinking about it being in the Saints Row universe, is pretty flippin' awesome. It's a sort of hero shooter that I can imagine people playing for probably infinite amounts of time. They have announced so many different ways of playing the game with different characters, different team synergies, and you have all sorts of interesting ways of creating dialogue between characters, because there are, I believe, 12 different heroes you can play as, and you have all sorts of history between characters. You have characters that get along, you have characters that won't, and you have a whole bunch of different ways that this team synergy and the team makeup can affect the mission on a story level. You have characters that will react to the story differently from one another, and that in itself makes the game replayable in so many ways. So I am very excited to see all the things that Agents of Mayhem have to bring to the table, and whenever they are ready to tell us how all this happens, I'll be ready and waiting. So yeah, there's that. And with that, we have come to the end of another Gaming Pigeon special delivery, and I hope you enjoyed the more casual talk I had towards the end, where we kinda speculated about stuff. I'm probably gonna do a lot more speculation about different things around the gaming universe, and hopefully we'll have more people to talk to with a coming podcast. I don't know when that's going to be happening, but as soon as we figure that out, we're going to let you know, and hopefully it will be about an hour and a half if we can get it that long. But yeah, we're going to be making some pretty interesting noise over here. So as usual, we have TG Pigeon Tweets on Twitter for you to follow, and you can find the Gaming Pigeon at the Gaming Pigeon blog. Other than that, we don't have too much else to say in the way of updates from the actual site. So I hope you enjoyed your listening experience, and I hope you come back. I hope you had fun, and as always, good gaming, everyone.